Hey guys, it's Sarah from Misadventure Pants. How you doing? I'm here with your weekly live chats. We'll wait a couple minutes and let folks join in. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Yeah, if you're here and you're watching, jump on, let me know what you're up to. I know it's sorry that this has switched to Tuesday kind of abruptly. It's going to be Tuesday for the next couple of weeks just because I have things going on Thursday. So sorry about that. I hope it's not super confusing. Yeah, everybody. I like doing it on Thursday because I can ask you guys what you're doing over the weekend, but I know I don't even know what I'm doing this weekend yet, so you might not either. Anyone know? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our topic for this week. And the topic is how to hike faster. I'm going to give you a couple tips about that. Why I think this topic is really good to talk about. I think it's something that bothers a lot of people when they start hiking. You look around, you compare yourself to your friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, a spouse, whoever you're hiking with. And it really is hard. And if you go out with a group, something like Meetup or CMC, you don't really... Sometimes it's kind of demoralizing if you're the one that's near the back of the pack. And it can really also be a safety thing if you're going to do something like climb a big 14er, Mount Albert. It's a long time above tree level, so the faster you hike, the less time you're exposed to things like lightning. You can get down sooner and have a beer, and that's all great. So I know I've been a leader for both Meetup and Colorado Mountain Club, and I know one thing that causes the most, I think, tension and conflict on hikes is pace. Whenever the group is a different pace, it can be really hard, and it's hard to be the one who's kind of slow, and it's hard to be the one that's kind of fast sometimes too. So really, it's an important thing to be able to hike fast when you want to, hike slow when you want to. So how do you get faster? People who know me are probably laughing at me making this video because I'm honestly not that fast. And this is probably a good place to start, talking about your goals and what's going to be realistic for you. A good way to know kind of how fast and, how to train for hiking and mountaineering is to really sit down and maybe write down like the 3 trips that you really want to take this year. And then either go online or look in a guidebook and figure out what is the distance that you're going to need to travel. And also, what's the elevation gain? How many 100 or 1,000 feet are you going to go up and down on this hike? Because those are kind of targets for you to shoot for as you're planning your training for the season. And right now is a great time to start. In a month or two, we're going to have all our snow melted off our big mountains here in Colorado, and probably some of you in other places might already be able to hike more, where you're lower down and there's less snow, but anytime's a good time to start. So, set your goals, kind of write down the biggest trips you're going to do. Another good thing to think about is how much weight are you going to be carrying? Are you going to have like a big backpack on your back, or are you just going to have a little day pack with maybe 10 or 15 pounds? It's probably, that's probably going to affect how you train as well. So think about for each of these trips the weight you're going to be carrying approximately. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is kind of look at if you're really trying to get faster, is to really look at your baseline speed. So a good way to do that is to pick a hike that is pretty easy for you to get to. It's something that you do, if you don't hate, you wouldn't mind doing it maybe once a month during the training season. If you're here in Denver, a good one is Mount Morrison, Mount Falcon, up in Fort Collins. People really like to do Horsetooth Mountain, Boulder, Green Mountain, or, wherever you live. There's probably a hike like that. It can be, if you live in a place that doesn't have real big trails, maybe you can do a loop and do it more than once. I know when I'm home in Ohio, I do that in Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and it works really well. But anyway, you're going to go and do this hike, and you're going to just take your little 10 to 15 pound day pack, don't go too crazy, and time yourself. How long does it take you to do this hike? If there are landmarks that are pretty prominent along the way, say the picnic shelter at Mount Falcon, you can also, mark how long it took you to get there, and then keep on going to the top or the end of your hike, and just see how long that takes you. And that's going to kind of give you your baseline time, so you can watch how much faster you're getting over time, which is really fun. So once you've got your baseline, you're gonna really, I'm assuming some of you might already be pretty fit and you're still looking to get faster, but if you're pretty new to hiking, before you really do any of this speed work, you really just need to get some base fitness. And that's, this is terrible news, but that really means just hiking as often as you can, getting out there with your day pack. I know I can't always go hiking every day. I have a day job and write a blog, but I try to go at least once during the week after work, and then either one day or both days over the weekend, in addition to doing things at the gym here. So, just get out there and hike, enjoy it, have fun. Start with a 10 to 15 pound day pack. Start with a distance and an elevation gain that is comfortable for you. One thing that's really good to do is to kind of plan out a progression of hikes you're going to do. So say I want to climb Mount Albert in August. Between now and August, I got to find a couple other hikes. So Mount Albert, I think it's 4,300 feet and 9 miles. So I gotta find a few hikes that are maybe like 5 miles, 7 miles, and maybe start with 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet, and just kind of gradually increase towards my goal. Another thing you're gonna want to do, and you're not gonna want to do a big increase in your distance or elevation gain when you do this, but every week add a few pounds to your pack until you're up above what you think you'll be carrying. So if you're going to do a backpack and carry a 40-pound pack, try to do one of your hikes with a 45-pound pack. Well, don't do it right away, but work up over a couple of months from 10 to 15 pounds to maybe 45 pounds, and maybe kind of time that so it's a few weeks before your big target, your goal hike that you want to do. Okay, so, putting together a progression of hikes, some tools you can use for that. I'll actually put some websites in the comments. There's a couple really good ones for Colorado. We have Pro Trails, we have Summit Post that have the distance and elevation gain data. 14ers.com if you're going to maybe put some 14ers in the mix. We also have 13ers.com. It doesn't have as comprehensive of data, but you can have a look. I think out in Seattle area they have the Mountaineers, so the Pacific Northwest. You can get lots of great data from the route section of their website and the trip section of their website. So yeah, kind of just plan your progression. What are you going to do every weekend between now and August when you climb Mount Albert? Let's just pretend that's your goal. And you're going to want to take occasionally a week off. Don't go hard every single week. Kind of the rule of thumb is maybe every one weekend a month. Just take it easy, do an easy hike close to home. Give your body a chance to relax and recover from all this great work you're doing. So you're going out, you're hiking, at least once a week. Maybe if you can squeeze in 1 or 2 more, that's awesome. So you're building up your base fitness. As soon as you feel pretty comfortable, like your body's getting stronger and, reacting well to all this exercise, try to do a couple of drills that are going to kind of increase your speed a bit. So one that's really good to do is a leg turnover drill on a hill. When you see a hill coming, most of us are like, crap, it's a hill, I'm going to slow down. And if you're me, you stop and have a drink of water. Don't do that. Take it hard up the hill for maybe a minute. If that's comfortable for you, it can be less. If that's not comfortable for you, you can work up to a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, if your hill's big enough. But when you see an uphill slope, just really power up that, and that's going to teach your body to have some more power, to go hard on stuff that's, you know, on tough terrain, and you're going to be able to increase your endurance and go for longer. So leg turnover drill on hills, that's a really great thing to do, even if you just do it like maybe once or twice on your hike, and you can increase the number of times that you do it. It's really helpful, really awesome. As soon as, maybe if you've been training for like maybe I'd say at least a month, 6 weeks, and you're feeling pretty good, I would add, and this is something you can do at home or anywhere really if you're traveling, I would add high intensity interval training at least 1 day a week. That's what that means. It sounds like a big crazy word, but you're trying to drive your heart rate into the anaerobic zone, and that does all kinds of amazing things for your body. It's going to increase your endurance. It's going to allow you to travel at higher speeds for longer, which is what we want. And it's really, you know, going to have a lot of health benefits as well. It definitely speeds up your metabolism. It's good for your heart. And the great thing is it can be a super short workout if you do, they say that just maybe half an hour of interval training is like running for 60 minutes just at a steady pace. So, and you get the same health benefits, which is awesome. So it's a good thing to do on maybe the days when you want to train, but your schedule's a little bit tight. So high interval intensity training, how do you do that? Basically, you're just there's all kinds of programs and charts and tables you can download from the internet. If you're really new to this, it might be worthwhile to work with a trainer, even just go for one session or 1 or 2 sessions and get a program set up that makes sense for you. They can do some fitness testing and make some recommendations for you. But basically what you're going to want to do is do some kind of aerobic activity. You're unweighted. You're not wearing like your heavy backpack. That's a different workout. And you're either going to, after you warm up, try as hard as you can, trying to drive your heart rates up above maybe 85% of its max. For a minute, and then after that minute you stop, and you actually, some people walk, that's fine, you can walk, you can jog in between, and give yourself a chance to recover. And then as soon as your body recovers, take off again, do another minute, and then recover. And when you first start out, maybe the time in between those intervals is going to be really long. You might need 3 minutes to recover, but gradually what you're going to want to do is increase your intervals where you're working hard and decrease your intervals where you're resting and recovering. You can do it. I'm saying you can do it with running, but you can also do it with biking. You can do it with, you know, if you're in a hotel room, well, it'll drive the people below you crazy, but you could do jumping lunges or burpees really hard for a minute. You could, you know, jump rope for a minute. It's amazing. Like, you could do something different like every week and, you know, mix it up a bit. But that's high intensity interval training, and yeah, once a week, that's going to be really good for you, and it's going to help your endurance and just the way your body uses oxygen and energy so much. It's really awesome once you get going. One other thing I'll mention that's like super helpful for high intensity interval training is a heart rate monitor. The reason I mentioned this is because I just got this year. I kind of had a crappy heart rate monitor before this that didn't really work very well, and so I never knew what my heart rate was. And when I finally put this on, it just goes, by the way, it goes underneath your sports bra against your skin, if you're a girl. But yeah, it just goes, it clips, and then it has Bluetooth, so it goes to the phone, so you can watch your heart rate, watch your stats. But yeah, I was really underestimating how hard I was working. I was like hiking with it on, and I'm like, oh, why am I not even, like, my heart's not beating that fast. I really needed to be pushing it harder, and I figured that out as soon as I had the heart rate monitor. And the good thing is too, it has like an upper limit, so you don't push it too far. This Wahoo ticker is awesome. The app that it comes with will help you kind of figure out your target heart rates based on your resting heart rate. you know, what you should be aiming for. There's also a formula you can use without the heart rate monitor. It's called the Carvonin heart rate zone calculator. I'm gonna put a link to it for you, but it's a great way. You just put in your resting heart rate, what it is when you're laying in bed in the morning, and it'll basically kind of tell you what your heart rate zones are and kind of where you should train when you're, you know, going slow and steady, hiking and whatnot, and what you should do when you're doing your anaerobic, your I can't speak today, your interval training. So yeah, so high intensity interval training, it is awesome. It is a lot of fun. It actually goes by, it sounds so weird to be like, you're gonna go and run and suffer and feel like push yourself really hard and it's going to be fun, but it is. It goes by so much faster for me than any kind of just steady running, hiking, workout. It's really great. Give it a try. You'll love it. So after all this, and kind of as you're working through this program, what you're going to be doing is going back to your old favorite hiking spot and hiking it, maybe like once every couple weeks, and you know, watch your time. Is it getting faster? Or are you able, if you're increasing weight every time you go, are you able to more or less keep the same time, or pretty close? These are, so you'll be able to, oh, thank you. You'll be able to see your progress as you go through this whole process, and it's really awesome. It takes a couple months to, especially if you're coming out to something like Colorado, where we're at high altitude and doing big elevation gains a lot of the time. It takes a while to really feel your fitness, and then after that to really, you know, work on things like your speed, which is kind of a refinement, but it's worth it. It takes a couple of months, I'd say. It takes a couple of months for us that live here, even when we're coming off the off season at Christmas and Thanksgiving. So give yourself plenty of time, but definitely do it. It's worth it. It's so much fun, and hopefully you'll be feeling faster and more confident through this program. So guys, thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, hello, Jenna. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them in the comments. I'll hang out for just 1 minute. Jenna, how are you? Did you get your trees planted? Or I think you were doing mulch. I'm hoping you get out for your hike and didn't have to stay and work for the HOA all weekend. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions, but you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions that you think of later, just jump in the Facebook page, or email me through my website. You know where I live and how to find me. And yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful, I wish I could say weekend, but yeah, hope you can survive the rest of the week and get to the fun stuff on the weekend. Oh, is it your birthday, Jenna? Happy birthday. I'm so bad at checking that on Facebook. I really need to be better. Jenna, I'll send you an invite. I have a birthday calculator that reminds me because I'm just horrible at remembering. I need to get you in there. I'll send you a link. It's not spam. Segment. Oh. Well, that would have been a crazy birthday. I'm glad you avoided the lightning. Okay, guys. Well, happy birthday, Jenna. Thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, I will see you next week. Probably also on Tuesday. Okay. Take care.